Hey, what's going on everyone? Shark here today, and I'm going to give you guys an overview video on just a couple of tips and tricks on how to actually get better at building. I'm going to try to go ahead and just speed run this so you guys can kind of see how to build and just improve on your building on Minecraft just a little bit. Mind you, this is not a how to build on Minecraft, but I will give you guys some tips and tricks on how to actually get better at building, and you can implement that to your actual builds just to kind of get like a better looking build on your next Minecraft world. So without further ado, let's get right into the video. Okay, so first things first, the first thing you want to do is just find like an area that you're comfortable with building at and will look good in your build. Me personally, I will be doing a cliffside house for this video inside of my Minecraft SMP, which you guys can join at any time by following me on Twitch on the bottom of the description of the video. Personally, the first things that I want to go ahead and do is use the right blocks for this. So my favorites for building the frame of the house is usually spruce wood. Mind you, I like using stripped wood, so just letting you guys know that's going to be like the best block for you guys to do the frame of the house, which will look a lot better. Now, mind you, I like going uneven with every build, so most people will actually go ahead and do even blocks, for example, like this. They'll go like, for example, 4 and then do the frame. Yes, you can do that, but it will look a little bit better if you just do uneven blocks because you can add a lot more decoration to said build. Kind of plan out what you kind of want to build in the first place, because usually what I do is kind of unpreparedly kind of go ahead and just do like random builds. So don't follow too much what I do, but if you go ahead and get like a little plan of what you want to do, that will kind of give you a better vision of what you want to do for your house. What I like to do is going 4 blocks high, then adding an extra block on the top side and then connecting them. That way you can kind of get like a pretty good height for your builds. Mind you, I'm not really that great at interiors wise, so it might affect your interior a little bit, but I know for the outside of the house, it will look great. Here on the sides, we're going to be doing, for example, like 3, and then we're going to do 5 right here. It might be a little bit too pinchy against the wall, but we can always fix that later. So we're going to go 3, 4, 5. So it would be right here, right? So we got the 5 blocks right there. Like I said, 3, 5, 7, 9. You should use those blocks. You want to do the exact same on the other side. So right here, we would need to connect it right there, and then 3 blocks, and then there we go. So now that we have the frame of the house connected, what we're going to be doing is picking out the blocks that we want to actually make the walls out of. Mind you, this is a very crucial part in your guys' building process. You guys can be using, for example, stones. I usually like using stone for like the bottom side if you're going to make like a second story. So we're going to go ahead and do that for this build, okay? We're going to go ahead and just pick out just stones. Most people just like to use cobblestone, and that kind of makes it look a little bit noobish, I guess. So usually what I like to do is get cobblestone, stone brick, and then you're going to go ahead and pick out some stone, gravel, and then andesite. Andesite is a great block that you can go ahead and use for, like, you know, the frames of the house. So usually what I like to do is just connect it, right? Just do your regular kind of like textures for your house, because this way it will add a little bit more like a character to your house. Okay, so now that we've completed the walls, all you have to do is just now add decorations to go ahead and kind of spice up the build a little bit. So we've used spruce for the frame of the house, which I just call the logs. You want to go ahead and use the same kind of wood that you use. For example, if you went and use oak for this, make sure you use oak blocks. Or you can always add spruce, just depending on whatever color you kind of prefer, but I prefer kind of using spruce or just whatever block I used for the frame. So we're going to go ahead and add some stairs and some fences, right? That's just my typical thing that I usually do. And then I also add trapdoors. You want to go ahead and add trapdoors to kind of like the little dots that connect every single kind of like frame. So by adding all of these trapdoors, what happens is it adds a little bit more of a texture, so it doesn't just look like basically random kind of logs all over the place, if that makes sense. All you have to do is just add a little bit of trapdoors, and trust me, you will get like a little bit more of a texture to the house. So now we're going to be doing this for the rest of the walls. Like I said, just add these stairs to the sides, add the fences, and the trapdoors on the top side. So like I said, stairs on the corners, fences in the middle, and then trapdoor. That way you can kind of like add a little bit more rustic feel to the house. Okay, so we've completed the frames and basically the little decorations to make the house a little bit better. So with that said, we're gonna go ahead and just add a little bit more of some stairs on the sides just to kind of make them look like kind of pillars. Okay, so now that we finished kind of like the entrance, we're gonna be coming back to this sooner or later, but for now, let's go ahead and just work on the frame of the second floor. So what we're going to be doing is adding slabs to the top side of the corners. That way you can just add a little bit of extra dynamic and a little bit more of a texture to the second floor. Okay, so with this, we currently have a second frame already kind of laid out. So now we're going to be doing this exact same thing that we did on the first floor. So we're going to be going 4 blocks high with it, right? We're going to be going 4 blocks, so now we have our 4. Then we're going to go our 5th, and then just basically connect it to the other frame. And if you guys have any questions or anything that I can help you guys with in the comment section, just go ahead and let me know this. But you know, this is going to be kind of covering most of your build. So what you guys want to do is just a block of your liking, go ahead and use that. Now what I like to do is kind of use spruce, or what you can do is mix it up a little bit and use oak or birch, right? But me personally, for this build, I'm going to go ahead and use birch. But you don't want to go ahead and just make the singular kind of block, if that makes sense. Go ahead and try to mix it up with the little bit of, for example, planks or, you know, logs. Okay, so now that we have kind of like the walls already complete all around the house, what you guys want to go ahead and do is just connect what the bottom frame is to the top side. Go ahead and just do the exact same thing that we did on the bottom side. Then this time though, once we take the 3 blocks right here, you're going to cut into the middle right here just to add a little bit of a window. Bop, there we go. We have a window now. So there you go. Just go ahead and put the windows all around and just make sure you want to go ahead and add some more details to this. So like I said, use the trapdoors. And so now that we have the trapdoors and everything kind of set out in the inventory, we're going to go ahead and just put these down, right, on each side or each corner. Go ahead and put the fences, and then on each side put the trapdoors. And, oh, sorry, I made a mistake right there. And then just do it on the bottom side as well. And then what we can do from here is kind of add stairs to this. But we're going to be doing this on each side of the house. But I'm going to go ahead and just teach you guys something real quick. On here, I went ahead and did a 5-block perimeter or frame, right? On these, I made 3. But what you can do with this is just cut out 3 blocks. And most people kind of just go straight. Oops, sorry, committed a mistake there. People usually go like, you know, with the planes like this, right? What you guys can do is just add like a block in the middle just to kind of make it look a little bit more detailed, if you will. And then just add our little details on the sides. Here, we can do something differently, right? We can go ahead and add either moss blocks, which I like, or we can add grass blocks, right? With these grass blocks, we can just go ahead and make a little bit of flowers up here, just add a little bit more of a decoration. But make sure you guys want to go ahead and use some trapdoors on there just to kind of make it look a little bit more part of the build. And then here, what you can do is just add trapdoors to the top side of these stairs right here, so you can add lanterns to it in the future. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and show you guys how to do the roof now, right? There's a lot of different styles you can go ahead and use for roofs, but my favorite personally is, for example, using just regular either dark oak. Dark oak is a great block you can use for that, or just regular spruce wood, right? I know. I use like a lot of spruce wood for my builds, but you know, they work. It's efficient, right? So what I like to do is just add 1 singular block to the bottom side, and then add 2, right? I usually like to go in increments of 2 just to go ahead and make the roof kind of like a little bit smaller than the usual. But you know, you can always play around with it whichever way you like. For the bottom side, what I like to do is go ahead and just put like instead of going 2 blocks, I usually like do 3. Using 3 will actually make it look a little bit more spikier and a little bit more nicer. We're going to be doing this on this side as well, just to kind of make the connection between these 2 roofs right here. And then we can always play around with the other roof and kind of make it look and connect to this particular roof here. Okay, so on this side right over here, we're going to be doing the exact same roof that we did over here. So again, sorry about the burp. We're going to be doing the exact same thing, which is basically doing the 1 block off to the side, then the 2, up to 2, up to 2, up to 2, until we get to the top side, which is the 3, right? So we're doing 2, then we're going to be doing 2 again, right? And then here's our top side, we're going to be doing 3, right? So people don't really do this for builds, but it looks great when you actually get this done. You just go ahead and get some oak fences and some spruce, wait, no, sorry, enough fences. Gates will look a lot better, right? So just add a block to the middle, like so, right? And then what you're going to be doing is adding the stairs like this, like so, and then adding a fence, and then adding a stair. Trust me, once we get everything connected, this will be looking a lot better, but just keep that in mind that it will be looking a little bit more richer. Okay, so we're going to be doing the exact same thing on this side, right? We're going to be doing right in the middle. We're going to go ahead and add our stair, gate, and then stair again. Okay, so now that we have this, what I like to be using is either you can use the same design that we did on the bottom side with the stone, or what you can be using is a deep slate, mind you, because deep slate was added just recently, and it makes it look a little bit more darker and a little bit more rustic. So again, you can use the regular tiles and just kind of spam them around. But me personally, I would like to go ahead and add a little bit more of a texture to it. So for example, if you just go ahead and add some rustic or deep slate bricks, and the broken ones, usually those can look a little bit better as well. So just keep that in mind, but you want to go ahead and just play around with them until they start looking good. Okay, so now that we have the frame of the actual roof kind of already complete, what you can be using is actual deep slate to actually kind of finish out the rest of the roof and just connect them. That way you can, well, add a little bit more of an extra texture. So what I like to do is use the tiles and the deep slate bricks. That way it kind of add like a little bit more of a regular texture, I would say. Just because you don't want to just use one singular block, because usually, yes, that would work, but it wouldn't look great, mind you, right? It would just look like you're oversaturating the roof with just one singular block, and you don't want to be doing that. But just letting you guys know what you guys can do to make it look a little bit spikier is just adding some stairs on the sides. That way you can basically make it look like a little bit more textured. And once you get that complete, what you can do is getting some fences. You can complete the roof by just connecting this and just adding like a little more of a texture. And then what these fences done, what I like to go ahead and add is a little bit of a flag, just to kind of make them feel like a little bit more of a kingdom kind of a house, if that makes sense to you guys. But yeah, what I like to do is basically just add the white on the top side, right? And then you add the blue, right? This might not look good from like right now and close up, but it will look great from the far away side of the build. Mind you, have a couple of them, like for example over there I have one, over there I have one. So from a distance they will look great, right? So we got the roof complete. All you need to go ahead and do now is just add the stairs, right? And another thing that I kind of like learned over the time of building is if adding, for example, oak trapdoors. Oak trapdoors on the roofs can actually make it look a little bit more finished and textured. So you can always add these later on if you want for your build. You don't have to, but I like doing them for my personal builds. Alrighty, so now that we kind of carved out the rest of the kind of mountain, all you have to do is basically just do the exact same thing that you did on the other side, just so make sure it connects, and just do the exact same. Go 2 blocks up, and then in the middle go 3 blocks. We're gonna go ahead and get some spruce and then go on the top side right there. There we go. And then we can always do the exact same thing that we did over here. Grab your gates, grab your stairs, do the exact same thing for some extra details. And there you go. You basically kind of completed the roof already, technically. We have these stairs kind of already set in place, and like I said, you can always add those trapdoors to kind of spice it up a little bit. But like I said, it's the smaller details that actually go ahead and make a build. Alright, so now that we have like all the roofs complete basically, this area here is going to be mostly like an outdoor kind of thing for you guys to go ahead and just play around with. I'm not really completing the entire build. I'm just kind of just going off of just like the smaller things, just kind of show you guys what to do with it. But you can always go ahead and complete these floors right here with spruce planks, just to kind of like add a little bit extra color and brightness to the build, because you don't want to go ahead and always use dark blocks, because in the long run that will just make everything kind of look way too dark. And trust me, mobs will spawn in. It just won't look good. But what I like to do myself is adding, for example, spruce slabs on the sides, and then adding logs over here, just to go ahead and kind of mix up the thing a little bit. We're gonna just go ahead and put it here, and then adding your regular fences like so, adding your logs, and then another fence, and then always put slabs on the top side of your logs, because that way it will look a lot better. We need to go ahead and finish out this roof here, but I mean, mostly, to be honest, most of the house is basically complete now, or whatever kind of block you want to go ahead and use. But for example, I would probably use just deep slate, to be honest, because you've already made the roof out of deep slate. So here you really don't need to focus too much on the detail, because mostly it's all covered by blocks anyways. It's going to be quite dark in here, but you can always light it up with lanterns and stuff like that later, because I always recommend lanterns instead of torches. But yeah. Alrighty, so now that you have most of the house basically kind of complete at this point, all you have to worry about is the outer details of your house. So what I like to go ahead and do from here is kind of take a little bit of moss blocks all around and just put some bone meal on them, just to add a little bit more of a mossy kind of feel to the blocks. That way it just feels a little bit more rustic. So there you guys go. I mean, there's like a little bit more details to the house that makes make it feel like a little bit more lively. If you guys have any questions or stuff like that, just go ahead and let me know in the comments section. I'll be more than happy to kind of talk to you guys and just say like, hey, you know, Shark, I need help with this. I need help with that. Is there anything I can go ahead and add to the house to make it feel a little bit better? And yeah, I'll tell you guys everything in the comment section. If you guys did enjoy the video, like, subscribe, and turn on bell notifications because I will be uploading a lot soon. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.